All right, we're back at the Man Cave. I'm your host, Black Irish. Had to redo this video. Unfortunately, we're having some technicalities with the mic, but everything is going good. Fixed the problem. I'm going to redo this one. This is an episode of Dr. Phil. This is going to be a very trigger warning episode. This is about a man sent to jail for 14 years for wrongfully accused of being a rapist. The young lady was a teen at the time when it happened. She went to a lineup, pointed him out, and without any real evidence, was put in jail for 14 years. Now, there's a reason why I'm doing this video, and it's because as an advocate for men, this is not to shame victims, but this is a situation that needs to be addressed. And why I feel the way I do about the things I talk about with men, about modern women, about how society treats men without any evidence whatsoever, and how we treat the person who caused the situation, not on her own behalf, but what happened to him, how she's being treated, even though she caused the demise of his life being removed from society, losing time with friends and family. Anyway, so let's get started. I want to keep the rambling on all day long.
Been the hardest thing for you?
Trying to adapt back to life, the outside world.
Do you wake up in the morning and have to think about where you are and do you go up and down emotionally about this?
Yes. I still wake up real early in the morning and just go sit and have a cup of coffee by myself just to think, about all the stuff I've been through and how good it is to be in the outside world again.
You were in love when he was arrested
Yes.
because you knew him, and how long had y'all known each other?
2 years prior to.
2 years.
Yes.
So 2 years together
Yes.
and 14 years apart.
Yes.
Did you wonder if you would still be in love with this woman?
Yes.
Because you had to get to, she had changed in 14 years.
Right.
You'd only known her for like 700 and something days. And then you're gone for 14 years, and did you wonder if you would still have those feelings for her?
Because after they found me guilty, right, and I told Jewel, I said, go ahead, go on with your life. I'm gonna try to fight this, and try to get my freedom back. And she told me, no, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna fight this with you. And she did.
I mean, not for nothing. That's love. That's a tall order for anybody, especially a woman, to like stand by. Because you have a generation of people that would sit here and say, well, how can you do that? He clearly is guilty. No evidence or anything whatsoever. But they will condemn this person until all the evidence finally says, no, there was no evidence that proved that he did it. It's guilty till proven innocent, which is not how it is. But when you're a man, this is exactly how it is. So I give her a lot of respect for standing with that for so long and for 14 years standing by him.
How about those children? Because you had sons and stepdaughters, and I mean, this is the kids. They grow up.
Yeah. My son, when I left him, he was 2. Now he's 17. So I missed I missed all of their lives, their whole lives, because all of them almost grown now. So I'm trying
It's a
to
damn shame.
adapt, trying to be that father figure in their life again.
Did, like, your 2-year-old, did he remember you?
Yeah, we kept in contact over the years.
No, but that's limited.
Yeah. So, but since I've been out, they stay in Arkansas. So since I've been out, they've been up here with me a couple of times. Yeah.
And when they found out that you had been cleared of this, that you were exonerated, what did they say?
They said, "Daddy, you home."
Yeah. How did that feel?
It felt lovely. It was kind of painful because, like I say, I missed all them years out of their life.
And that's what I was saying to the viewers. You You missed all the Little League games. You missed all of the Halloweens. You missed all the Christmas mornings. You missed all the fishing trips. You missed everything that is their life. And that's hard to get that back, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, you have agreed to talk to Loretta. Obviously, as we were just hearing on the phone, Jennifer was saying that it took her 2 years to get to the point that she could do that. I'm going to go backstage and see if Loretta will. Do you need to hear apology from her?
Yes, because that'll give me closure on my behalf.
Let me introduce you to Dean. I don't believe y'all have met before. We have a seat right here. Sit right here. It's all right, you can have a seat right here. Okay. Dean, let me introduce you to Loretta. And this is her husband as well, Monty, and I'm very happy to say that y'all haven't really met before, but here you are. So, Loretta, tell me what you're thinking and feeling right now.
I'm scared to see his face again. It's scary.
And you've seen his face in the meat market, and you've seen his face in court, but you haven't seen his face in an alley, and you haven't seen his face other places, and you get that up here, right?
Yes, sir.
But it's still emotional down here.
Yes.
Tell me what you're thinking and feeling right now.
I just hate that you had to go through something like this. I hate that I had to go through something like this because of this situation. And I hope and pray that we both can get closure in this.
What do you think about what Dean had to say?
I'm sorry that you lost him.
She's fine, Phil.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
But you did.
I just wanted to tell the truth.
But you didn't.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a douchebag, but your sorry isn't going to cut it. Yes, you were young. We already know this. I'm not going to go down this route all day long explaining it, but I think it's real so messed up that I'm curious as to why you're crying. Are you crying because you really feel bad about it? Or you're crying because all this time you thought you fingered the right person to hurt you, and it ended up 14 years later not being the person that hurt you. And now you're upset that the person got away with what they did and there's no one to blame for it. Like, I know that we like to do the sympathy. Well, you have to understand what she's going through, Irish. I don't have to understand anything. What we need to do is understand how this man lost his life. And as far as we know, has been an upstanding guy until this happened. And then he gets fingered in court. I feel bad for him that his children lost their fathers. Lost their father. They lost a father. I'm sorry for him because of this. And he has no choice but to take the high road and basically be humble. He has to be humble. And I'm sorry that he has to go all the way out like this because he can't be open and honest. and she's crying out here. And the honest truth is, I don't believe for 1 second that she's sorry that she figured the wrong guy. I think she's more sorry the fact that she figured the wrong guy and it didn't work out in her favor in the end. She needs a victim. She needs someone to be responsible, and unfortunately, he's not it. Because somehow, 14 years later, DNA evidence proves otherwise.
You're doing good, Loretta. Stay with us here.
No. And that's another thing. Stop coddling her. She's not, she was a victim then. She's not a victim now. This is that thing I hate about daytime television. People who screw up when they're females, all of a sudden, magically, we feel bad for them. Oh, you're doing a good job. Now, if he was angry and upset, do you think he's saying, I understand you're upset, you're doing a good job, let's just get through this? No, he would tell you need to calm down and not yell at her. She's a victim. Because you got to keep your constituents happy.
I think you need to understand, and some of the things that you haven't heard Dean say, but he gets that you were 15 and he gets that you were hurt really, really bad by somebody. And he hates that for you. What do you want to say about that, Dean?
Yeah, I hate you had to go through something like that. I hate now that you have children, that your kids have to go through something like that. And I hope and pray each day that you can get closure. And this day, I accept your apologies.
Like, I'm just telling you, just listen to the way he's talking. He's repeating himself. He's repeated all the same lines over. It's almost as if he knows that's not what he really feels, but he's got to say it. He's got to say this because even though he went to jail for 14 years and did absolutely zero wrong, we live in a society where if he were to be open and honest about how he really feels, everyone would say he's a monster and make her immediately the victim all over again. Because this is the mindset that we have when it comes down between men and women.
What's the hardest thing about this right now, Loretta?
Being here next to him.
What makes that hard?
Because I feel ashamed.
You should.
I feel like I did something wrong.
You did do something wrong. You sent an innocent man to jail.
Have you accepted in your mind, I know y'all talked about this before and after we talked yesterday, you've accepted in your mind that this is not the person that did this to you?
After talking to you and my husband, yes.
So let me see if I get this straight. The evidence wasn't enough. The court case is saying it wasn't enough. It was enough for you to understand that he was guilty, even though they showed no evidence except for your words and your blurred vision, which you can say was any black person. That was reassuring for you. But when it came down to the evidence proving it, you needed your boo and Dr. Phil, a daytime television doctor, to tell you that no, he's not the right guy. 14 years of his life are gone. 14 years. He missed birthdays, anniversaries. He missed time with his children, family outings, seeing his kids growing up, the ability to make more children, a wedge between him and his children. 14 years this man went to jail for your tears. And it took your boo and Dr. Phil and daytime television to finally say, you know what? He may actually have just been innocent.
Dr. Wells, this is a situation where it seems the system failed, and I wonder what you have to say to these two so he understands that it was not the evilness of this woman, and she understands that she didn't have to have a bad intent in order for this system to break down.
Right. Well, eyewitness identification is always a difficult problem. It's virtually never the fault of the eyewitness. There are things
Mostly
that we
women
can do to make eyewitness identification better. There may be some blame in this case, but not of the witness, but rather perhaps at the level of the investigation.
I want you to understand something. So the DA does not prosecute women who falsely accuse men of any type of allegations because it discourages, and you can look this up online, it discourages actual victims, and they literally have no problem. They will, I don't know how this can be even a law, but they will not prosecute women who lie. And I'm like, that's BS. So now you've made it easier because you know it'll discourage other women who are actual victims from coming clean about their turmoil and the pain and suffering that they went through, because you don't want them getting discouraging the actual victims. So what that means is the people who actually are capable of doing this will get away with it. That's why we see it all the time. This is why I get angry. Now, like, again, she was 16 and she was wrong. She was wronged by some guy who raped her. Yes. We're not gonna gloss over that. But she fingered the wrong person. There should be some form of punishment. And I don't mean it like her, but like people who lie and they flat out are found out to lie. Where is the evidence that proved that he was there except her word? Was there camera? Was there video footage of this happening? This is why people don't like that I say this, because you're putting a person's life in danger because of someone's tears. We can't blame them, because that would make that guy look bad. That would make society look bad, because we brainwash people to say no matter what happens, believe what women say. Oh, yeah, you lost your life. I'm sorry you went there the 14 years of jail. We didn't do our job. My bad. We blame the system because the system doesn't have to worry about ever taking responsibility. The system's too big. No one's going to step up against the system, whether it's COVID, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's going overseas, spending billions and trillions of dollars going everywhere else except in your pocket. You can complain about it, but nothing will happen because none of you will stand up against it. This is one of the major reasons why I don't believe in that believe all women BS. Because the honest truth is, when you believe all women, that's the problem. You are making a decision to say that all these women are capable of never doing anything wrong. You can't trust that. But here we are, watching this young lady crying her tears out, looking for sympathy for her mistake. Is she crying because she felt bad that she sent this man in jail? No, because she just clearly just said it only took her recently, after he got released years ago, that I had to talk to my husband and Dr. Phil. The evidence wasn't enough for me, but the evidence of my tears was more than enough to send this man to jail.
We know now better that composites can change memories. We shouldn't single out individuals as being suspects based merely on their similarity to a composite.
Johnny Depp. Are we going to forget about that? The other guy who played, who's playing Kane the Conqueror. Are we just going to forget about that? What are you talking about? We've learned and come a long way. These guys lost their careers, lost their livelihoods over a woman's tears. And here's the other thing. Jonathan Majors had video evidence that proved that he didn't do anything. But that wasn't enough. He was still found guilty. Even though she struck him, he's running away, she's chasing him down. Video evidence. This is what I'm telling you. It is full of crap. There is no such thing as it's getting better. It's either it's better or it's not.
In that area, there were probably within a 2 square mile, there were probably 15 to 20 black males who would
any black will do
look like that composite. So it needs to be better controlled.
You know, and you make such a good point. And the reason I'm saying that to both of you is so that you understand and you don't focus on yourselves or each other in this situation. Because this girl was 15, and can you imagine the horror and terror that she was going through, the emotionality at the time? And they're having her draw pictures and make decisions and things of that nature. And then this system, whether it is suggestive, imperfect, or whatever, takes an innocent man off the street for 14 years. We've been talking to...
I want you to understand something. I'm done with this video. I'm just so aggravated. I want you to understand how he painted that. What she had to go through. She had to go through all these things, and you were just a product of it. This is why I tell you we make people into innocent victims without even freaking trying. So, mind you, we already know she's innocent. She's not a criminal in any way, shape, or form. But let's just be real about ourselves. This man went to jail for nothing. He went to jail because her tears said so. I feel bad for him that he had to lose everything because of it. And this nonsense of how we're like, well, she had to go through all this, and that, and we already know that, yes, what she went through was horrible. But you're negating the fact that this man went to jail innocently for her tears and that BS system that we have. Nothing is going to change. Johnny Depp loses his whole career. Jonathan Majors loses his career. And many, many men who don't have the money and the resources to go to jail to prove their innocence. Because for men, it's guilty till proven innocent. Women, innocent until proven innocent. And I'm supposed to say, believe me, oh, you should believe all women or protect women. No. Sorry. I protect my family. I protect the females in my family. And I tell men to protect the members of your family so that people like this don't ruin your life. You want to know why men don't do anything for women? This is exactly why. Because men are treated like criminals and looked at as criminals. A man can't hang out in a park. He's considered a pervert. A woman can be in a park and no one questions it. There are laws where men cannot be in the parks with children. This is an actual law in many states, many countries. It's ridiculous how men are treated. They built the world, and yet the world treats men like pieces of crap. And it makes me sick to my stomach that this poor guy, I can only imagine, having a son, I can only imagine how angry I would be knowing that my son could be going to jail for this nonsense. Labeled a monster, having to be registered as a you-know-what offender. Can you imagine as a father what you would be going through seeing this? This is why I say I only protect my family. Because if this is the thanks I get for protecting people outside my family, I want nothing, and I do mean nothing to do with you.